Welcome to the history of migration. In this video, we will explore the history of migration from the earliest times to the present day. We will discuss the different types of migration, the impact of migration on sending and receiving countries, and the future of migration. Migration is the movement of people from one place to another. It is a complex phenomenon that has been taking place for centuries. There are many different reasons why people migrate, including economic opportunity, political instability, war, and natural disasters. Early migration. The earliest evidence of migration comes from the archaeological record. For example, skeletons from the Neolithic period, around 10,000 years ago, have been found with evidence of violent injuries. This suggests that warfare was already a part of human life by this time. The earliest known written accounts of migration come from ancient Mesopotamia. These accounts describe wars between different city-states, as well as wars between Mesopotamia and other civilizations, such as Egypt. Migration in the Classical World. The Classical world, from the 8th century BC to the 5th century AD, saw a great deal of migration. The Greek city-states were constantly at war with each other, and the Roman Empire waged wars of conquest throughout Europe and the Mediterranean. The Classical world also saw the development of new military technologies, such as the phalanx and the chariot. These technologies made warfare more deadly and destructive. Migration in the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages, from the 5th century to the 15th century, were a time of great upheaval and migration. The fall of the Roman Empire led to a period of instability, as different groups fought for control of the former Roman territories. The Middle Ages also saw the rise of feudalism, a system in which land was granted to nobles in exchange for military service. This system led to a great deal of warfare, as nobles fought each other for land and power. Migration in the early modern period. The early modern period, from the 15th to the 18th century, saw a number of major migrations, including the 100 Years' War, the 30 Years' War, and the 7 Years' War. These wars were fought for a variety of reasons, including religion, dynastic rivalry, and territorial expansion. The early modern period also saw the development of new military technologies, such as gunpowder and the musket. These technologies made warfare even more deadly and destructive. Migration in the modern era. The modern era, from the 19th century to the present, has seen a number of even more destructive wars, including the Napoleonic Wars, the American Civil War, World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. These wars have been fought for a variety of reasons, including ideology, nationalism, and economic competition. They have also been marked by the use of increasingly destructive weapons, such as the machine gun, the tank, and the atomic bomb. Types of migration. There are many different types of migration. Some of the most common types include 1. Internal migration. This is the movement of people within a country. 1. For example, people might move from rural areas to cities in search of better economic opportunities. 2. International migration. This is the movement of people between countries. 2. For example, people might move from one country to another in search of better economic opportunities, or to escape war or persecution. 3. Forced migration. This is the movement of people who are forced to leave their homes due to war, persecution, or natural disasters. 3. For example, people might be displaced by a conflict or a natural disaster, and they might be forced to move to a new country in order to find safety. The impact of migration. Migration has a significant impact on both sending and receiving countries. In sending countries, migration can lead to a loss of skilled labor and a decline in population. However, it can also lead to economic growth, as migrants often send remittances back to their home countries. In receiving countries, migration can lead to an increase in population and a diversity of cultures. However, it can also lead to social tensions, as migrants might compete with native-born workers for jobs and resources. The future of migration. The future of migration is uncertain. However, there are a number of trends that suggest that migration will continue to be a major issue in the years to come. These trends include 1. Globalization. Globalization has led to increased interconnectedness between countries, which has made it easier for people to move around the world. 2. Climate change. Climate change is leading to changes in weather patterns and rising sea levels, which could displace millions of people in the years to come. 3. Conflict. Conflict and violence are also driving migration, as people are forced to flee their homes in search of safety. Only time will tell what the future holds for migration. However, it is important to be aware of the trends that are shaping migration in order to make informed decisions about the future. We need to develop policies that will help to manage migration in a way that is beneficial to both sending and receiving countries. Conclusion. The history of migration is a long and complex one. It is a history of movement, change, and adaptation. Migration has shaped the course of human history, and it continues to shape the world we live in today. The future of migration is uncertain. However, it is important to understand the history of migration in order to make informed decisions about the future. We need to be aware of the factors that drive migration, and we need to develop policies that will help to manage migration in a way that is beneficial to both sending and receiving countries.